Welcome to Politically Unstable with Charles Hurt, Washington Times opinion editor. I'm your host, Andy Parks, and I'd like to remind you that you qualify for a 50% discount on an annual digital subscription to the Washington Times, and all you have to do is go to washingtontimes.com/Andy. It's a deal. That's washingtontimes.com/ANDY. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Charles Hurt, Washington Times opinion editor. Hello, Charlie.
Hey, Andy. How you doing, buddy?
Doing just fine. Princess Cheney peddles another big lie. It appears Miss Cheney is no longer in leadership and may not be in office. If you read some of the stories about the folks in Wyoming and how they feel about her right now, come 2022, it may be over for her.
Yeah, aren't the growing pains of a political party fun to watch?
Yes.
You know, and anybody who tries to say that this is all about Donald Trump, some of his impolitic language or anything like that's a total lie. This is not about any of that. This is about issues. This is about the issues that Donald Trump brought to the party. And this is about Donald Trump's vision for the future of America, which if you took Donald Trump out of it, disabled the media's ability to slander and slime him at every turn, you would get like a 95% voter approval rate of Donald Trump's vision of the future of America. Literally, and I'm not making that up. That really is what it is. And that's why he's so dangerous. First and foremost, he's dangerous to Democrats. Democrats are terrified of him because he's not a loser who kowtows and bows to all of their crazy demands like open borders, free health care for illegals, and crazy stuff like that. But also he's a threat to Republicans, and Republicans like Liz Cheney. And I love all this talk about how, Liz Cheney is a paragon of courage. But are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You want to see political courage? Definition of political courage is Donald J. Trump. That is why so many people love him. Even as they see all of his warts and they see all the things that he says that they don't like, they still admire him. The reason they admire him and vote for him, they admire his ability to stand up to these people and his willingness to walk into any firefight with just basic common sense. And Liz Cheney, she stands for something. This is about issues to her. This is about, making America the world's policeman. This is about spending trillions of dollars on wars around the world. That's what Liz Cheney believes in. And also the old Republican Party before Donald Trump brought them to their senses, that old Republican Party believes, like Democrats, in open borders. And that's what this is all about. This is not about, Liz Cheney and her courage and Donald Trump said something really mean and said this. This is not about that. This is about the issues that Donald Trump brought the Republican Party kicking and screaming to, finally forcing the Republican Party to listen to their actual voters. That's what this is about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's something else, though. There's something personal in there, and I don't know if it relates to her dad and the Bushes. Let's face it, Jeb Bush would have been the guy that Dick Cheney would have voted for, right? And Jeb Bush was brutalized by Trump,
Yeah.
So is this sort of a payback, or is it, it just strikes me as being odd.
I agree. Yeah, there's definitely something very personal about it. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that you had the Bushes and the Cheneys and the Clintons, and they're all like this political royalty in Washington. And it's like we're not allowed to have politicians other than Bushes or Cheneys or Clintons, and which is a really, really, really messed up thing. I almost feel like there ought to just be a law that says if you have the same name as somebody who has already been president or vice president in the past like 20 years in America, you're like barred from being because actually bringing new people to the table is actually a really good idea. People quitting Congress is a really good idea. The humility that it takes for somebody to say, you know what, I tried this. I didn't do the things I wanted to do. I didn't fix things, or I did fix things. I accomplished what I wanted. But as often as not, I didn't get done what I wanted to do. I'm going to let other people see if they can come and take a crack at this stone. That's a very healthy, humble thing. There is something like that here. No small part of it is what you just said, though, that it's payback for the vicious beatdown that that Donald Trump exacted on before the Clintons. He did it to the Clintons, obviously. He epically destroyed the Clintons. And everyone should be grateful to him for eternity for finally abolishing the Clintons from the public square. But before that, he did it to the Bushes and the Cheneys.
Yeah.
And he did it, and he called them out for, and obviously there's nothing more obvious than the business about the wars. And these are wars. George Bush, that entire $1 trillion war was done on our future children's credit card.
Yeah.
We didn't pay for any of that. We just put it all on the credit card. Got nothing for it. And obviously so many of us supported it. Once we were in it, you have to support it because our boys are over there fighting, and you always support our troops. But a lot of us sort of kind of came to it like, are you sure about this? This seems kind of like, I don't really understand. This is like a triple bank shot that we're going to bring freedom by launching a bunch of wars in a bunch of places. But you have to remember, Washington always gains power during war times, and it's usually power that they never relinquish. And then there's this entire military industrial complex that is built up around Washington that is dedicated to war and the money that it spins off. And it's not $1 billion industry. It's a trillions of dollars industry. And both Democrats and Republicans love it. The only time Democrats and Republicans came together to cheer Donald Trump during his entire 4-year term was when he fired rockets into Syria. And Democrats and Republicans were like, yeah, this is great. I wasn't so keen on it at the time. I'm not sure if it was the right thing to do or not, but I do think it was a pretty amazing tell that suddenly, Hillary Clinton was like, yes, this is great. She didn't mention Donald Trump, but she thought lobbing bombs in Syria was a great idea.
Yeah. Pinning the California Dreaming on Caitlyn Jenner, the title of one of your columns. I don't know, Charlie, a man-woman governor of California or a woman governor of California? That hasn't happened yet, has it?
No, the war on women is alive and well in California. I actually went and did the math, and you know that's a big deal anytime I sit down to do math. 30 states, starting with the great state of Wyoming, have had woman governors. California resolutely refuses to allow a woman to be governor. And it's 2021 now, and California, supposedly, it's the most liberal, the most democratic state, most powerful democratic state in the union, and they refuse. And all of these hotbeds of racism and anti-women misogyny, is that the right misogyny, whatever, like Texas. Like I said, Wyoming, all these other states have had women governors, but not California. And then along comes one of the greatest male athletes of all time, and he decides to mansplain to all the ladies out there about how to be a real woman. And he puts on a dress. And I'm not making fun of his whatever led him to this, because people have horrible mental problems, and I'm not. And not feeling comfortable in your body, I would imagine, would be among the worst of them.
Yeah, I would think.
And I'm not, and I'm sincere in that. I'm not making fun of that. But just because you decide that you're going to take drugs and maybe do horrible things to your body and put on a dress doesn't mean that the rest of us have to deny actual scientific human biology. But that said, wouldn't it be amazing if California's first woman governor
is really a man?
was actually a man? Wouldn't that be amazing?
Okay,
Doesn't that tell you all you need to know about the whole left-wing Democrat ideology?
Yeah, well, I want to get to something else about Jenner. A conservative on some issues, a liberal on others. Is that really going to fly?
What is Caitlyn Jenner a liberal on? I don't really, I mean, a liberal, in a classical liberal sense, maybe, Caitlyn Jenner is in favor of the police, is against rioting, believes that there should be a border and our laws should be enforced. All of that is like mainstream normal sanity, which the entire Democratic Party has now rejects and has walked away from. I don't know what about Caitlyn Jenner's policies or Bruce Jenner's policies conflict with basic, mainstream conservative Republican ideology today. Can you name any particular thing?
Yeah, the fact that a kid can walk into any bathroom he or she wants to.
Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, that would be a problem. I think that's one of those things that gets handled at the local level, and by local level, I mean very local level. Because I can tell you, at the Hardee's in Tight Squeeze, where I live, if a dude walks into the ladies' restroom and a farmer is sitting in there and his wife is in the restroom and a dude walks in there, that's going to get handled very quickly right there.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, you don't need a law in Washington or in Richmond or in anywhere else saying that dude is somehow not going to, it's illegal for him to walk into the ladies' bathroom. Because trust me, the first stop, if the police arrive, the first stop is not going to be at the jail. It's going to be the hospital. Okay?
Yeah,
so that's why I just, I agree with you. And it's Looney Tunes. The reason that I would teach my sons, you're not allowed to go into the ladies' bathroom, is not because there's a law about it. It's that I don't want to get their asses kicked.
Okay.
At Hardee's.
Yeah. All right. Bottom line. Can Jenner win?
I have no idea. It's California, man. Of course. What is it? The Olympian formerly known as Bruce Jenner can win. It's California, dude. I mean, I kind of love it, man. Didn't you grow up? You grew up listening to Lou Reed and the Kinks. Hello. I mean, that should be the campaign song. I mean, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Lola, it's a mixed up, jumbled up, messed up world, man. I don't know. I have a problem with all these people who are trying to tell us and really trying to teach my children, the people who don't understand basic biology, like the male and female born, like that. I'm very respectful. Although, I mean, come on. If you really can't understand those basics, you're gonna get jokes. Okay,
yeah.
That's on you, not me. I have a problem with these people teaching my children. I really do, and that's where I get really, really mad. But I mean, a dude wants to wear a dress and run for office in California. I just don't have a problem. I think it's delightful. I don't know. It's funny.
It's different.
It's different.
Yeah.
And again, I can't say it enough. I know you don't have any hate in your heart, and I don't have any hate, and I take all, I really do take all that stuff seriously about mental diseases. And it's a big reason why, like, family ought to be like, are you sure you want to wear a dress and run for office? It's a little bit like Joe Biden. I mean, do you really, where is Joe Biden's family? He goes out there and he says the dumbest things, and it's just like, where's his family? Yeah. They really ought to say, hey, Joe, maybe it's time for you to enjoy retirement.
Yep, you're right. Folks, you could read all of Charlie Hurt's columns at WashingtonTimes.com. Thank you, my friend. We'll do it again next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks for listening to Politically Unstable with Charlie Hurt. Remember, you can read all of Charlie's columns and check out our fine selection of podcasts at WashingtonTimes.com. I'm Andy Parks. Have a great day.